Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Wild Man Revolution podcast. I have got a really unique guest today, but I'm going to get to him very, very soon. If you haven't checked out the podcast on YouTube for visual, go check it out. There's some great episodes up there, especially when you go into the crypto world and my good friend Luke Mikic and his expertise in that, but also on other platforms, Spotify, iTunes. Check it out. And my socials, which are in all the links below. Keep an eye out for some free giveaways too. I've got the merch on the way, which is super freaking exciting. Don't have to wear other legends of the world's merch anymore, but good old wine's not cheap. I've got to promote that in there. But again, the whole premise of the Wild Man Revolution podcast is to highlight to the world men that are doing not just good things in the world, but great things in the world. And I seriously am blessed that I am surrounded by absolutely phenomenal men. And when it comes to our guest tonight, he's more than likely to share some of the crazy shit that he's experienced in his life. And I'm not saying crazy intentional shit. This man seems to find himself in some of the places that could be pretty horrific, but he's probably going to share a bit about that. But most importantly, again, highlight what he is doing in the world and the gifts he is bringing and the people he is helping with it. Now, I met this man a few years ago online. It was in the crypto space. And I love how the crypto space has connected me to a lot of people. But this is not about crypto. This is far from it. But we built a connection back then. And I think it was, from my point of view, it was the passion that we both shared in not only like seeing the evolution of the world and the solutions available to us, but helping people. I think that was one of the big things we always kicked it off. And it's been really, really good to grow a friendship with this man. And here we are now from the other side of the planet in the UK. So different circumstances, different environment. Without me talking too much longer, Joby, how are you, brother? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, how do you pronounce your last name? I've never asked this.
Boughey, Joby Boughey.
Joby Boughey.
Yeah.
I should have asked that before, but this is how I roll here. I've learned my thing for tonight. I'm going to shut up, people. Welcome, Joby. It's so awesome to have you on, brother.
Thank you for having me. I know we've been planning this for a long time as well, and we were supposed to do it last year, and obviously a few things got in the way with Christmas and New Year and stuff. So it's an absolute pleasure to be on here. What you're doing is truly phenomenal, and it really is. It's a very, very special thing that you're putting together with the Wild Man Revolution, because men's support is needed right now, and there's so many women out there doing all of their healing journeys. You see so many women promoting. The world needs more men, especially of healers and podcasters, to really get this message out and support men. Like it's well needed.
To start off the podcast, I ask a really, really, really deep question. The Wild Man Revolution, when you tune in, when you feel into that whatever, what comes up through for you? What does that mean to you, if anything, if nothing, or is there something else that comes up for it? But yeah, let me know. Go deep into that if you feel
okay. Cool. So for me, it's the divine masculine. We have the divine feminine, divine masculine, and right now in this time that we're in, it's the emergence of the higher consciousness. It's the merging of the masculine and feminine coming together. The men doing our work, the women doing their work, but we are here to help and support and help raise the vibration of the planet, taking us into that next dimension of the 5D world. We are here at this time. We have chosen to be here at this specific time to go through everything that we went through all those years ago, all the trauma, all the pain. Everything happened for us for this specific time, for prophecy. Because it is happening right now, and the Wild Man Revolution is the, as I just said a minute ago, the men need the support. Those that are not on that vibrational wavelength, the Wild Man Revolution is, for me personally, helping men to become and truly empower who they are here to be.
I love that. And generally, what I'll do at the start of a podcast too is I'll introduce you and tell the listeners or the watchers what you do good in the world. But I thought I'd do this differently today. I want you to tell the world what you're doing now and
Okay.
outline how you come to this. What I see is like, I actually haven't seen you as excited as I have in the last 18 months through all the challenges and everything that you've overcome and worked through. I've never seen you. You're like a little boy in his element, because you're like, I know you're playing with your gifts. Please tell the listeners and everyone watching, what are you doing in the world now, man? I think it's fucking amazing.
Okay, so I am, God, how do I even explain this? So
I've already got him on the spot. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. So no, it's great because I'm helping doing so many different things, but my main thing is breath work. I've trained as a shamanic practitioner, and I've been through my initiation rites to teach shamanic work. So I studied for about 10 years doing shamanic work. And as you said before, we started off in crypto, but I've had several near-death misses. I've got scaffold fitting, fell from 70 foot and landed on my head. For those watching the visual, you can see that I've got a big dent on my head. I've had major car crashes. I've been squashed by a lorry. I hemorrhaged through my nose for 24 hours, like balls of blood, like the size of cricket balls. I've had
that's a fucked up visual.
Yeah, like you don't even want to know. 24 hours, it was like a murder scene. It just kept pouring and pouring and pouring up. My God, like that was probably more painful than being hit by a scaffold fin from 70 foot. Like I was just hemorrhaging and hemorrhaging and hemorrhaging. I've had that. I've had a couple of drug instances. I've had when you're young and you're out partying and you get carried away. It wasn't like intentional. It was just happened. And and then it's just been one of these rides where I needed to heal my trauma. Like I've been through so much, and I needed to find a way. And it was. I'll go back to like when I first got hit by the scaffold thing. I was disfigured. I went into a very, very dark space for a couple of years where my whole life completely changed. And it was the darkest time in here. I remember just one day being on my hands and knees and just praying, crying, and like, just need help. I need to change. And something come over me where it was like a wave of release. Like at the time, I didn't know what it was, but obviously now I know that it was my guides and everything protecting me and keeping me safe, because I work very closely with the angels and the masters now. But at the time, I didn't have a clue. I was just in this dark. It was just something come over me. It's like, go look at YouTube. Okay, so I went on YouTube, and all of a sudden, I was just like the first thing there was like this motivational video. And I was like, okay, so I put it on, and it was specifically guided for me to watch that video.
This is so similar to me when I was in the mines. I lost my mate to suicide, and I went, like, a lot of people diss YouTube and all this stuff. This is on YouTube now for senses, but that played a pivotal part for me, because I went to YouTube and, like, what I think you're getting to, the specific video you needed to watch and spoke directly. I had the same experience when I was in the mines. It was literally like, dude, you got to make change in your life. So go on, man. This is like goosebumps.
Yeah. So I started watching this video, and the words it just penetrated my being. And I was like, you're going to like have strength, have courage. And my dad always, like when I was growing up, was like, be strong, be that man, be the masculine. I don't let anything frighten you or stop you. Keep going. And it just literally just inspired me. So I just kept watching videos. And that was the start of my spiritual awakening. And I remember one day someone just said to me, it was like, I feel like you should like really get into like meditation. And then it was like, we've got a thing going on the weekend. Do you want to come? I was like, yes, please. I'll try anything. Whatever is needed, I will do it. And it was actually a shamanic event, and they were doing breath work with the drum. they were breathing. As the shaman was drumming and he was breathing. So this was my very first experience with breathwork. I didn't even know what it was. I was just doing it. And I always had a thing of chasing the buzz when I was younger, going out raving and partying and getting high on recreational crap, stupid drugs which I didn't know at the time. But so this took me absolutely into the cosmos. I can't even tell you. Like, I was with the divine, and this was like 15 years ago, whatever it was. And I just was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I kept going back and going back and going back. And in the end, it was just, that was the start of my training. And that was the start of everything happening. So my worst day has now actually become my best day. Because if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have gone to that event. I wouldn't have just got onto that path. So you can see now how things are so divinely timed. Oh, yeah. And everything happens for you for a reason. And that was just me. And I'm a bit like you, Steve. When I do something, I have to do it 100%. So I just started learning and learning. I was watching video after video, immersing myself. And then obviously I had another near-death miss, and 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 I had another, like all these events over the 15 years, over all the years of just something else happening. And then it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and I got squashed by a lorry. A lorry come up behind me, and like a great big juggernaut just literally hit me from behind in the car. I wasn't going fast, going about 5-10 miles an hour. It was just like a roundabout. Yeah. It squashed me into another car, and all my arms got busted. They basically said that my right shoulder, it felt like basically someone could have hit me with a sledgehammer. There was that much impact on my shoulder. I had my arm in a sling for months. And in the end, I was just like, I can't believe I'm going through this again. Like, what more of, like, why? Why do I have to keep going through this? And in the end, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to the breath. Something come over me. So I just go back to the breath, and I just started breathing, and something come over me was like, this is your gift. This is why you are here. You are here to be a healer. And at the time we were doing crypto, I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. And it was like, you need to pack all my guides literally just coming. I was like, you need to pack all that up. You're here to be a healer. You are here to help. You are here to raise the vibration of the planet. And I was like, okay.
Stop fucking trying to kill me then. Okay, that's what I signed up for, right?
I've had enough lessons now. Please, no more need.
I know. I'm listening now. But yeah. I think why this is important for the listeners and people watching to hear is I think a lot of people out there are going through stuff now. And what comes over us, we will drop into the victim of like, why again, why, what now? Whether it's you're talking to your guides or you're throwing your arms in the air, you're talking to God, whatever you believe or you don't believe, it doesn't matter. But for you to honor that calling, like Chi and I, that's part of our business. We used to always say that when you honor the calling, we're all getting a calling, how it shows up and that. But for you to keep getting these instances happen in life, where you got the opportunity to go, fuck, poor me. And we got to process this as humans too. Anyone out there, it's okay. The victim stuff's got to go, especially if you get crushed by a fucking truck or a bit of scaffold falls on you from like unknown. Like, it's got to be divine timing of something, but you get the calling. Now you get the choice to go, am I going to honor that? Am I going to actually honor that? Am I going to do the fucking work? And it doesn't mean just do the work, go out and fucking do homework. It's like, no, you're gonna process this pain. You're going to listen to the body more. Are you going to listen what the calling is, and you're going to hone in on what that is for you and that mission or that purpose. And that's why I have so much respect for you, man, because the shit has happened to you over and over again. Again, it might be as extreme for people out there listening, but it doesn't matter. If anything stops you in your tracks in life, you're going to get that moment where you can discern between going, okay, I'm going to let this impact me in a negative way. Yes, there might be challenges that are involved with whatever, but I'm going to face these challenges head on. Yeah, I may have to be patient. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some help. Go back to what you mentioned at the start, men asking for help. My last podcast that I put up, or a couple ago, I literally went on there and said, hey, guys, this is tough for me to ask. I need some help with my podcast. And went into it. It's so important. So this is why I think this is so inspiring to hear how you've not just kept at it, not just going resistance. You've been allowed times to go, okay, yep, okay, all right, yeah, I'm gonna act on this. I'm gonna act on this, and I'm really gonna do something about this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So once all that happened, I set up a company called Breathe to Heal, which is because I tried every single modality to heal myself. Like, you name it, I've tried it. And breath work was the number one thing that gave me everything I needed, whether it was to heal the trauma, release the trauma, to calm and relax, to sleep better. Breath work gave me absolutely everything. And I just started immersing myself in breath work, studying, training. I think I've done about 30 odd courses. Like, I've followed every single thing, like leader out there, like even yourself. I'm watching your breath work, learning from you, and I've just now made my own thing. But obviously I've now tied it in, and I've created my own little unique way of doing it. So I've called it the B2H method.
What is it, the B2H method?
Yeah, the B2H method. So I've taken ancient techniques and I've now made it sort of like my own and put a fresh spin on things. Awesome. So I work very closely with the angels now and all of the masters beyond the veil. I bring shamanic work into it and different types of energy healing. And it's just I work quite intuitive there. Sometimes I can be even if I'm on a Zoom or I'm with someone in person. Sometimes also I get this pain in my body, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like, you're feeling this. I said, you got a pain here or a pain there. And all of a sudden I get it. And I'm basically I transmute energy. Yep. So it comes through me, and I know how to transmute the energy. It's just a knowing. I wasn't trained. It's just a gift that was been given to me. And so when I'm with people, I can really get into the root cause of things, because I really feel their energy, and I feel it in my body exactly where it is. Yeah. And the amount of times I go, yeah, you've got a pain in, and like, some people go, I've never even told anyone that.
I get this. A lot of the work that Chi, my beautiful fiance, and I dive into is the trauma work as well. And breathwork facilitator practitioner from my own journey, but again, upskilled, embodied, master, teach, and it's helped so much with that. But when we've got a connection with our body, when we're in tune with our body and picking up on the sensations, we can discern whether that's ours or someone else's or something else in the room. We can discern. And I always share this with people. If you are an empath, now I think there's more to it, because a lot of empaths are probably being given the chance to choose. Wait, this is a gift you've got. You're actually meant to go, hey, you can pick up on other people's energy. You can tune into that. Maybe you're meant to be working with that. Maybe there's something with your mission and purpose, because I always see the other end of the scale is, I don't have clarity. I don't know what I'm here for. I don't know, but people get all these signs. Maybe they're not blessed enough to get the hardcore accidents that you've been in. I don't know. I don't wish that upon anyone. But again, I go back to it. You've honored the call. Yeah.
I was shown specifically what the breath is. The breath is the Holy Spirit. It's they were like, this is your gift, and you are here to bring the breath back into the world, to raise the vibration. And just very, very quickly, that you just said something there. People might not know what their purposes of soul calling is. It's to serve. If you don't know what your purpose is to serve.
Yeah.
Like,
people get caught up in and I've been there, and you've probably second guessed it or doubted what you're offering the world or how you're serving and what you're serving with. Again, at the start of it, I think we really connected because we were all about helping people, and how were we helping people and what were we up to. it always involved helping people. Like that was the thing. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the, what would you say, the cognitive version of it. They think it over and they think it's got to be this perfect thing. Oh, my mission and purpose. Oh my God, this is what it is. No, it's as you grow, as you do your inner work, or as you grow, that clarity you're searching for, it's not anywhere outside of you or that. It's just what you're doing in the moment. Okay, it's serving, contributing to society. Again, and it might not be doing what you're doing, like helping a ton of people with I love it, the B2H method, I love it. But with breathing and breath work and the shamanic journey and all that sort of thing, it might be simply being a good mum or dad. And for the men out there, seriously, if you are questioning this now, it might be you just being your very best version of yourself and contributing to your family or the people in your community. You don't have to get caught up in the, like, I've got to do all these things and do fucking videos and podcasts or whatever. So I just wanted to share that too. And I know you get that.
Yeah, just being you. Some people are here just to raise the vibration of the planet. And some people, you don't even have to do anything. Just you being you being in your perfect energy, loving, smiling, walking down the road, saying good morning to someone. Just your energy and your vibration alone can change people's vibration.
I'll say that in Aussie, because I know there's a few Aussie men that listen to this. I'll say that in Aussie. It's called, and pre-warning, if you got kiddies watching this, I don't drop this word very often, but it's been a good cunt. That's what it is. If you can just be that and focus on being that. That was the non-polished version, by the way. And if anyone doesn't like that, send me an email.
will you read it though?
I read all my emails from my lovely listeners and all the people out there. But it is. It's like, I think a lot of people, and even my clients, like I don't even know if a lot of people know in the world. Like I'm first and foremost a coach, healer, coach, and like my clients, a lot of them get caught on that. I don't know what I'm here for. I don't know what my mission. But at the same time, they've brought to me all this stuff they've overcome in their life or what they're going through, and they've just started a new family or something. I say, hey, maybe just where you're at now, if you really feel into it, you being the best version of this. What if that was your? Oh,
yeah. Okay. It's just being. When you can just be, there's power in just being. When you can rest and you can just allow the world, the outside world, to
do you find with breath work, one of the main reasons that I love breath work now, for me, I'm doing shit. I do a lot of stuff. Like I'm the opposite of Chi. She loves resting and kicking back. I rest by doing stuff. And I know a lot of men listening are probably on, yeah. Now, there is a trauma response in there too, that you fill in your time and space by not connecting within. But naturally, when I got into breath work, what I found was the way I was able to calm my nervous system down. The doing was the breathing. The doing was connecting deeper. The doing was, and seriously, like chasing the high. When I first had my experience where it just like was almost like a nervous system overload and DMT explosion, when I had that, and like I was able to be just so still and present with myself, so easy. And it's a big reason why I practice like breathwork day after day. One of the intentions is so I can just better be, because if I'm ungrounded or there's a lot going on in my world, which there generally is, if I can't bring myself back to that being, even if it's just for a moment, any of the doing I'm doing, it doesn't have the desired impact anyway. But for me, breath work, that calming my nervous system down, and then I can sit easy and be quiet, and most importantly, connecting with myself.
Yeah, absolutely. When you learn how to calm the nervous system down, there's a thing, obviously, when we are asleep, that is when we are most relaxed, and we never get to experience that. And that's why in breathwork, when you're so energized, but you're so relaxed at the same time, this is why people call it a spiritual, profound moment in time where they just get absolutely their minds blown, because they've never experienced having energy but being relaxed at the same time. It's a very, very powerful thing when you learn how to control the nervous system down just purely with the breath. Everything starts with the breath. Everything comes from within, and everything is all about just going back to the breath. No matter what you're going through, what you have gone through, come back to the breath. And you just sitting and watching the breath, let the breath breathe you. It's called breath awareness. This is the fundamentals of breath work. Literally 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Just sit and watch the breath, tuning into the body, and you'll naturally heighten your senses. You'll raise your vibration. You'll become more aware of your surroundings. And you just let the breath breathe you. And it's so beautiful, so relaxing.
And a lot of people, like, I'll go use the example of meditation. You hear a lot about that. It's widely accepted now, mindfulness, meditation, but people are like, I can't meditate. I can't sit and meditate. One of the key things is exactly what you just shared. It's like, sit with the breath. And what I get a little exercise I get people to do is like, give your breath numbers, count it into 5, count it out, do that for 5 minutes, put a timer in front of you. I can guarantee you all the stuff in your head, you'll forget about it very fast because you're focusing on the numbers and you're focusing on the breath. Such a simple way to do it. And it is a simple technique, but I think what people need to understand is still can take work, but you got to have the discipline, or you got to want to actually feel like you probably haven't felt before. Again, most people are walking around now, they've never been out of fight or flight. They've never been energized and relaxed.
So you have to come into the parasympathetic nervous system, into the bottom of the belly, which is your rest and digest area. Like if you just sit and watch the breath and you notice that you're breathing into the upper chest, which is a sympathetic nervous system, you fly and fight. This is where emotions and stress all comes from. And you should be breathing through your nose into the lower belly and just allow that to naturally calm the nervous system down. The rest and digest area sends all positive nervous systems up the vagus nervous system into the brain and tells the brain that you're safe. So the calmer and softer you can breathe into that belly, slow breathing, you'll never have anxiety or depression or stress or worry ever again.
And this is the thing, when people, because with anything in life, if they haven't experienced it, a lot of people there, whatever they've been limited from or all that, unless they actually decide, it's like, I want to experience that. I'm actually going to trust what Joby says or Steve says, or I don't know where else to do it. Go and experience a workshop or go and experience a circle or whatever. Get online, go to YouTube. Like one of my mentors, best mentor ever, I've done all his stuff online. Like you don't have to go in person, even though I really recommend it. But once you experience what we're talking about here, it's super addictive in a good way. It is really, because having that, you could say, abundance of energy, like the life force energy, that's what I call. What I call an intention for my practice is cultivating life force energy. Yes, it has the positive symptom of calming the nervous system, so on and so forth and all that. And I get the yogic high, it's sort of called out there. But that cultivating of life force energy, when you're sitting calm, but you can just feel that energy that's just in you, just there, that's lit. I don't think there's such a great feeling. I don't know how to describe it. I would love more people to experience that. And it's the thing, you might be calm, relaxed, but I tell you what, if you need to switch on and you need some firepower, instead of having to go and like fucking drink coffee or get yourself up or whatever, it's there to access. Oh, I love that about it. That's what people ask me. How come I've got so much energy? Because I fucking breathe.
Do you breathe or do you really breathe?
Do you breathe? Like, yeah, do you breathe deeply?
Yeah, and you can activate and change your state in less than a minute. I do minute videos on TikTok and Instagram every single day, and I can.
Oh, you're on TikTok. I can see you on TikTok. I haven't gone there yet.
TikTok's amazing, especially for breath work and consciousness and spirituality. All of the work I'm pushing out there. Like some days I'll do a breath work video, some days I'll talk about consciousness, some days I'll talk about the vibrations, like whatever I get inspired to talk about. But even when I'm doing like a 1 minute breath work video, I can feel the difference in my body as soon as I've done and finished that video. Like and I'm doing I do a 21-day challenge course with some of my clients. We literally started a couple of months ago. Started off really small, but now all of a sudden it's just people were having pure transformation in like day 1, day 2, and I'm screenshotting all of like their reports back. Every day we're doing something different, and we're creating a new pattern, creating a new habit. And they are literally transforming within days, like complete radical transformation in the mind, in the body, the spirit. Like people having like DMT experiences, visuals, and I'm not even taking them on that journey yet. It's just happening for them because it's, again, going back to that divine timing. Like they've come onto this course, all of a sudden their gifts are opening up and they're having like these visions from past lives and all this trauma stuff that they're not being able to heal. All of a sudden they healed it within one session of breath work. And for me, that is why I am here. That is what I do. Going back to your original question, I help people radically change and transform their life within minutes.
See how easy that is to answer. Now we're in the middle of the podcast and we're really rocking it and we're free flowing. And it is. It's like I look at what I bring to the world, and I sort of like you too. People can call it a jack of all trades and stuff like that, like coach, all this stuff. But I've got to say, we have a lot of tools that we use. I say this to everyone: my number one go-to tool for anything, how I'm feeling. If I've got emotion coming up, if I'm feeling drained, if I'm triggered or whatever, or if I'm just like want to feel calm or relaxed. Breath work for fucking everything. Like seriously.
Everything, yeah.
That's my go-to. It's my number one tool. Now, like with everything out there, of course, there's other skills we have. There's other things that we've embodied over time that we're probably unconscious with now. Unconscious confident, I like to call it. But when I share to anyone getting into this, if you're having these experiences where you've met Joby and you're doing some of his work or everything like that, you might be getting that sign too, that maybe you've got a next step or an evolution of your purpose in this too. It's been that for me, my healing journey has led me to deeper levels of my mission and purpose and helping people on a deeper level. And I see it from you as well. Now, one of the tools you have, this is probably not the best segue. I remember you showing me online a little while ago. I wanted you to talk about the pyramids and everything you've got.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me more. What do you call them? I don't know. That's what I just remember.
Yeah, so I work with the copper pyramid. So when I have people specifically come to me, they'll go in the copper pyramid. So the copper pyramid has copper is a conductor. So we have bits of copper, I suppose, within us. And there's also, it helps conduct the energy and the flow. So it becomes a vortex of energy. So when I put sound into the pyramid, the vibration stays within the pyramid and it helps penetrate into the cells. So you can actually put food in the pyramid and it will last longer in the pyramid than it will in a cupboard or in the fridge or whatever. So it actually helps rejuvenate.
Did you do that on a TikTok video?
I haven't done that on a TikTok video.
I reckon that'll be sick.
Yeah, just time lapse and food, just staying fresh.
Yeah.
But it helps connect us straight to source as well. So when you're in the pyramid, that is why all of the pyramids around the world are conductors and they are energy chamber healings. So anyone that gets in the pyramid, I have literally had people come in as soon as they sit in the pyramid. I put all crystals around it as well. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm literally vibrating."
Yeah,
like it helps elevate our vibration, and it clears the mind. Like I've seen radical transformations in the pyramid within no time at all. One session, depression, anxiety, mental health, because of the vibration and the cap that's on the pyramid. So you have we have a big metal cap, that like gold plated cap that goes on the pyramid.
Just like the pyramids of Egypt used to have?
Yeah, exactly. And it's built exactly the same. So it's only out of copper piping, but it's built to exact dimensions of the pyramids. So it becomes a conductor, it becomes a connector to source. So if you wanted to, even if like say you wanted to channel you sit in a pyramid and you channel, it brings all creative energies. Like it really is very, very profound, deep stuff. And my goal and my vision, I want to have I am going to have a pyramid healing center where everything, like the whole healing center, is going to be built out of the pyramid, which will be a very, very sacred space. I've been given that by source as well. Like that's another thing that you're here to do. So yeah, that's coming. I'm just getting the resources together to build it. We build again the land, and a few of my friends are getting land, so we're looking to build the pyramid on there where it would be built on sacred geometry, sacred ley lines. Yeah. So when you get in a pyramid, the pyramid is very, very special indeed. And you can put different crystals, so you can have light crystals on one side and you have dark crystals on the other. So if you have entities or anything on you, the dark crystals will naturally pull out all of your entities, and the light crystals will fill you up with purification of divine energy. So yeah, there's quite different ways of using the pyramid, especially with sound.
Light and dark.
And yeah, exactly. And if you do breath work under a pyramid, I promise you will have a mystical experience. It just
there you go. That's the selling point right there. But it's not a selling point because I love the fact that this feels like the evolution of what you're offering to the world too, and it is a big deal. It's a big thing to want to be able to set this up. And if people out there don't know, and I know a lot of my listeners are just waking up to like what a physical body and all this. We're electrical beings. So, and we are conductors of electricity, and we are 85, 90% water. Water conducts electricity. So if you go down, if you want science to back this up too, it's all there. This is the thing. If you're hearing any of this for the first time, you think, oh, that's a bit woo or a bit out there. Guys, big battle in the science ground for the last couple of years, but the science actually backs this up. They can't hide this knowledge any longer. This is out.
Exactly.
And the other thing was sound you brought in there, sound vibration. We carry, let's say, traumas and that, dense emotions. If we've had a traumatic experience in our life, could be just hearing a loud noise when we're in our mother's womb. We have this felt sense that goes in, it goes, that's fear. Oh my God, that puts me in anxiety, but it gets stored in the body. It gets stored in the muscles, in the organs, in the bone marrow. Now, what penetrates that? Sound, vibration. So there's all these subtle things going on that are very, very powerful. Why the work you're doing, Joby, you bring the breath in it. What does the breath do? Brings more oxygen, life force energy into the physical body and beyond. What does it do? The cells vibrate higher. The denser ones in there, they have no choice but to go, shit, I've got to go somewhere. Now, a lot of people in life, the densities that will go, so they'll come out in dysfunction, disease, because they're not intentionally doing anything about it. They'll come out with more traumas or anything, and the body will break down. But if you get intentional, bring some breath work in. Tools, I don't know if you want to call it technologies, you bring that into it with the intention, that energy that's been stuck, again, through whatever it is, it's got pathways to be released. I love how you got the dark and light crystals. If people understood the properties of crystals, I've got crystals all over my day. Might be a wild man revolution. I might be a hard nut people, but I've got a woo-woo side as well for what I'm talking about here. For very well, I work with this stuff, and it has changed my life too. I haven't done the pyramid yet, but the whole premise, the whole intention, I understand it, man. And I think it is truly, truly amazing. Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, thank you. And it's really important as well. And I've also discovered this working with the pyramid as well. It's like, obviously, as you said, we are conductors. The copper acts as a conductor and the receiver as well. So when you're in that vortex, if you're during breath work, obviously we can get a little bit dehydrated going through because we're burning so many cells. Having water during breath work, just have a quick stop, quick sip, and back in. Like, it has to be quick, can't be stopping for like time. Get in and just put a little bit of water in your body. Obviously, when you're raising your vibration and you're saying the cells are activating, You put that water in, it's going to activate even more, because we are the electricity and the water combining together. I actually discovered this the other day. I was like really dehydrated in a session. Normally I was like, I'll just keep going. But I just had some water, and I was like, oh my God, like it was like a charge in the body.
Yeah.
So now I'm to all my clients, I'm like, hey, quick, like when I say quick water break, it has to be very quick. Get a sip in, just get a little bit of water in, so it helps the cells keep vibrating at a higher resonance. And when you're in higher resonance, as you said, lower energies cannot live in that vibration. So they've either got to die off or they've got to raise up.
Or they shoot out through your liver or your kidneys or something, which we don't want for people.
No. Or out your nose through snot.
True.
Or purging, whatever it may be. It may come up, but it clears the energy, and then the sound and the vibration all works in and into the vortex of the pyramid. So yeah, it's all I say is go and research copper pyramids yourself. Don't
or even better, they're going to contact you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we'll probably be selling them very soon as well. a lot of people asking about them. But yeah, it is my. To be fair, when I very first got it, I was like, I'm not telling anyone about it. I'm not putting. I didn't want to tell anyone. Like, I had it. I had it for soon. Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to give the secret away, but it actually helps with planetary healing as well. So the vibration in that gets sent down into Mother Earth and gets sent to wherever we need, because of we can help Mother Earth raise the vibration. So the more people that have copper pyramids and meditate and do breath work and healing and sound in the pyramids, let's raise the vibration on the planet. Let's bring Mother Earth into exactly where she is supposed to be. No more wars, no more pain. Let's bring purity and love and happiness back to this fucking earth, because Mother Earth deserves it, like billions of years.
And if we don't bring it, Mother Earth's just going to purge us.
Yeah.
she's just say, fuck off.
Yeah, she's on a rampage. Like she is not having this shit no more. She has taken so much pain for so long.
Yeah.
Like we need to honor and respect her. Like she's our mother at the end of the day. And she's our home. Look after 100%. The home.
100%.
Yeah.
Just want to go back when you were telling about the little water thing. I just had a thing pop in, and I don't know if it was the same with the car batteries you might have had in the UK and might still have now. I always remember when my battery was flat, I'd open up the little thing on the top and it'd be low on the acid or the water. You would top it up with water, drive it for a bit, battery was fine. So I was thinking of that. It's the same premise. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We're holding life force energy and we're dehydrated, a little bit low on our fluids or anything. Little top up, it's like, yeah, now I'm running at level again. Battery's just staying there. Yeah, it's cool. And to go to the Mother Earth thing, this is what, and you've seen all of this from me, the wild. Now, I'm all about the wild, the energy, the rage, that fucking ground of acid, but going out in the wild.
The snake man.
The snake man. I've got all different nicknames from all my friends around the world. Especially the ones in the UK and the US. They think I'm fucking crazy, but it's all about, I
love it,
being in nature, being in Mother Nature, and having that connection in a way, because at the end of the day, we are so blessed to be on this planet. We really are. And I actually feel, now, like, I know this for sure, one of the big agendas at play is going to be to do with Mother Earth, but from the wrong people, from the people who want to control how they do it. The way I share with people now, practicing some foresight for where we're going to with the world, like the Rona stuff and all that, it's done. They're going to push that, but it's done. People are smart, people are waking up. But the Mother Earth thing, they're going to come hard with climate stuff and all that. But I want to bring everyone back to the simple key, where that agenda and that thing won't work from these people who don't give a fuck about the planet. They don't. They just want to control us and dig holes in it and mine it. By the way, I'm a supporter of some mining. But it's getting back to the wild. It's getting back to the connection with Mother Earth and her true essence. And I do that out in the bush. That's what I do. I go back to her. I visit her. I just connect in. I just be. I wander around. And if there's some animals there that are crazy looking and scary, I'm gonna talk to them and I'm gonna interact with them. And I actually really encourage everyone to come back to that. That's actually how we change the world going forward. And it's not, I'm not talking about the hippie unplug and just disconnect from society altogether. You can do that if that's your calling, but I'm talking about connect in, listen, what does Mother Earth need right now? What do we need to be within Mother Earth now? Like, I love that you're using all the elements and you're working with energy. Mother Earth's more than just the dirt, guys, and the trees and whatever's on it. There's so much more going on. And you know this if you go and connect. So I encourage every listener out there now, if you can put aside a little bit of time every day just to have an intention, just to connect in with Mother Earth and how she's feeling. And this is the wild man in really. I go to extremes to do this, but I will get up every day and I will make sure my bare feet go on the ground straight away. I will make sure when that moment, even if it's fucking wet or even if it's hot, it doesn't matter, that I'm having that moment where I'm connecting in and going, hey, I'm listening, or I'm feeling it. Cool, I'm going to do my best today. I'm just connected in.
Yeah, so it's very, very powerful when you do that. So I was literally just about to say bare feet on the ground, on grass, and connecting in, and then you just said it. So on the same wavelength.
And for people out there too, like the grounding, and this was coming through before when you're talking about conducting electricity, people will understand this because electricity, the way they run it, even though there's better options out there, but you've got to earth the energy. There's a hint in how they already run electricity now. You've got to earth. It's the same with our human physical body. We've got to earth. We've got to ground in. We've got to be connected to Mother Earth at all times. I mean, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, listeners, why have we got shoes with rubber soles? Just putting it out there. Why are they really cool? Just like sunglasses are really cool, even though I wear them sometimes.
Why are they making soles so big?
100%. What are they?
Rubber soles. They're keeping you away from the ground.
Yep.
They're keeping you away from the earth. And it's like, I've seen girls like great big shoes like this, and great big rubber soles. I'm like, get them off of your feet.
Now, I've got to say, and you're probably like, I'll put this out there. I wear thick soles sometimes because I'm a short ass around some people, but.
Me too. I'm 5'6" and 3/4.
So we're in the same league then. But guys, if you really, really connect in and you hear what we're saying here, if you can pick up what we're putting down with the human body, and truly, truly, if you come back to this connection and what it means for you, this is a physical experience. If you want to experience the physical to the fullest, the work you're doing, Joby, it is absolutely pivotal. And it comes up in many forms. The work I'm doing, I believe, is absolutely pivotal. Comes in a different form than you, but it's the same intent. It's we're looking for the same outcome, and we're getting the same outcome or similar. I want to segue into sort of the closing parts of this now, and I want to know how are you? I usually leave this to the last minute, but I want to ask this now. How do you see the world you live in, and the impact you're having on it in the next 12 months?
The world for me is magical, absolutely magical. And there's going to be, I feel like the earth's you're going to make a choice. You're either going to go into higher states of consciousness and into 5D, or you're going to stay exactly where you are. And everything is a choice. Everything can be easy or it can be hard. I always choose the easy path because I'm...
You choose the easy path and then something hits you in the fucking head.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, going back to knowing the tools. When you know the tools, the big things become small things. Like it takes a lot for me to get out of alignment now because I do so much breath work and I'm breathing every fucking day. Like I had a class this morning at 6:30. I've done a class on my app at 7:30. We're on here now. I've got clients straight after. I'm breathing practically all day. So yeah, for the next 12 months, Breathe to Heal is going to become one of the most. Yeah, because
Coach Steve just dropped in there. Don't downplay yourself, brother.
No, it's coming in. It's going to be one of the most successful out there because I'm doing so much and everything is coming together. But it's not even about ego, or anything like that. It's about I want to be of service. I want to help thousands of people around the world transform and into their path of ascension. And I see Breathe Healed. The app is growing and growing and growing every single day. People joining from all over the world. Literally, I've got about 20, 30 countries on the app now. People coming on.
Yeah.
So every single day, it's more and more people are joining the app, and they're doing like we do live breath work on the app every single morning, every single evening, different breath work every single day. I never do the same thing. It's always something a little bit different to keep it fresh and stuff. And I just want to, all I want to do is get Breathe to Heal out there so people know how to use the tools and become empowered within themselves, and using it, coming back to the breath.
So everyone out there, absolutely go download that app. Knowing you, Joby, it's loaded with absolutely never-ending value.
There's about 700 videos on there of breathwork sessions.
Amazing. Absolutely download that, guys. What about, let's bring it, your role in this, the next 12 months, your role on the planet. Where do you see yourself in 12 months? Both with work contributing and other things maybe.
I'm here to help bring people into ascension. I'm here to absolutely bring people in. So who knows what's going to happen over the 12 months. But I see a lot of ascension happening, a lot of change. I see the new earth being born. Mother Earth has shown me when I was in a mushroom ceremony, and Mother Earth showed me completely rebirthing of the earth, like awesome. Islands coming out of the sea, waterfalls being born, 5D consciousness. Like that is where we're going to be in 12 months.
I love how mushrooms tend to flow into all of my podcast interviews. It's great. Actually, I want to ask about that because this is something I haven't experienced before. You did mushrooms. Well, I have to a point. I'll go back there. Not intentionally, but trusted my body. And I went into breathing. You do journeying with mushrooms and breath work sometimes too, yeah?
Absolutely. It's incredible.
Do you want to talk to that a little bit more?
Absolutely, please.
Oh, here we go.
So mushrooms are obviously very, very mischievous and very playful, right?
I love that. Mischievous, yes.
Mischievous. They can be a little bit mischievous. So, but when you add the breath in, because they're there to rewire neurons and pathways in the brain, and like it's been scientifically proven what they can do for the brain and the body. So the medicine of the mushroom is ancient wisdom, it's knowledge, it's power, it's so fun, it's so exciting, and they are so angelic as well. Obviously, you might have a little moments every now and again where you might have a little bit of a different experience, but yeah, other than that, I don't think I've ever had a bad one yet. And when you add breath work in, because you're elevating your vibration and your consciousness, your DMT experience, and you're going to get so much knowledge and wisdom given to you. Each journey is very different. I've never had one journey that's the same. And mushrooms are food of the gods.
Amanita. Have you gone down the Amanita rabbit hole?
To be honest, I've tried to stay away from Amanita, purely because it could be so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be careful as well. Like don't just go in.
I think I was going to mention a little disclaimer for people out there, and like we might talk about these amazing experiences and everything that we've had with plant medicines and the like, even breath work. It's very, very powerful. And I encourage everyone, if you're curious about it, go to people who are experienced with anything in life. It's like you're not going to ask a broke man how to make money, are you? How to get rich. It's the same in this realm. You're not going to go to someone who's just going out for a trip or anything like that. Like you go to people, experts, whatever you see as an expert, but someone who's experienced this stuff that we're talking about. Again, I've traveled the world, South America, other places I won't mention on here, to grow, to heal. And a lot of them have taken me into mushroom journeys, ayahuasca, other plant medicines, boga, and the like, all these different ones. I've always been guided and supported by other people who have experienced it many, many times, shamans especially. And I love how you started, like the shamanic work you've already been able to do, not only for yourself and your own journey, you can hold the space. These are very powerful guys. We might, again, go tongue in cheek, but they are very healing. I know, like, for an example, certain mushrooms that we can get access to wherever we are in the world here. I don't disclose that very often, but I notice a difference. Breathwork, yes, I'm feeling calmer, but I'll notice a difference when I work in breathwork and then maybe once a week for a couple of weeks. They are very, very powerful and very healing. But again, disclaimer, go to get some support. Go ask questions to people in the film or in the realm who've experienced a lot before with intention. Again, we're talking about healing here, people. We're talking about all the other stuff going, the experience, the playfulness, or whatever it is. A lot of people get into the medicines for seeing things or getting the messages in that. But again,
It's about the healing.
Yeah.
It's about
Healing
the
is the
knowledge and
key.
the wisdom. Yeah, it's about the knowledge and the wisdom. And when it's done in the right environment, if it's not done recreational, like I'm like a big kid. I love to play. And so when I do breath work, I always make it a fun element. So when people are healing, if you can make it fun, what happens? You enjoy the experience. This is what I'm talking about. I choose to take that easy path. Let's make it fun. Let's make it enjoyable, because so many people do shadow work and all of the deep trauma work, and they take people through more trauma. But if you can actually make it an element where let's have a bit of fun, but also at the same time we're getting deep inner healing and we are transforming out to a cellular level, like people are going to do it more, and it's going to be a thing where people don't have a bad experience and they go, oh, I really like that, I'm going to go back and do more. And what happens? They keep coming back and they just keep building their tools, and they keep expanding and vibrating at the higher and better consciousness level for themselves, for the planet, for their families. They start becoming happier. They start becoming more fulfilled. They're having a better experience. It's all about finding that next better experience. And when people can come in and do the medicine, and what we do, we have a beautiful so we have different modalities all going through, lots of different shamanic sounds, and as you said, working with the sound, working with the vibration, working with the breath work, working with the medicine is just absolutely hand in hand probably the best healing experience you'll ever have, because it's fun and people enjoy themselves so much. People come out and go, oh my God, it is literally the best experience I've ever had. But what they don't realize is that we are transforming them completely into their blood, into their cells, into their atoms, their electrons. We've rewired all of their brain. We've completely and utterly changed, and with firing and wiring new neurons, we've created a new story for them.
And for anyone listening out there, this is what I love about this, and I love that you brought the shadow work in there. Now, there's still a place for going into your deepest, darkest stuff. You don't get stuck there. You don't have the intention, I've got to play in that field forever. Sometimes that will come up in the play. Going back to the densities, the shadow or whatever, it can't stay in there if you're vibrating higher and higher. It's got to come out somehow. But what I love about working with medicines or breath work or in a supportive environment, that it is more conducive to that shifting and you coming out with a good experience versus, all right, I heard someone down the road does this IR or something like this, I'm going to go do it with them. No support, no nothing. There's a lot of darkness. I think people get stuck in that for a long time. I see that a lot. And I love the point you mentioned about the trauma stuff. There is an element, I'm learning a lot more about this with the trauma work I'm doing. A lot of the work in the personal development world re-traumatizes people, because there is a focus for keep going into healing that in a dark, not so fun way, even though people have been through dark experiences. We're not downplaying that or not avoiding that at all. But there is a method to this, and there is success with this where, hey, imagine a world where, yeah, you've had some stuff in the past, but you go into a fun environment. You go into an environment that's super supportive, a high vibe environment. I'm not talking the fluffy throwaway, high vibe, everybody. I'm talking about an intentional healing space with the intention that you're going to walk out transformed. What if the world was like that, where you can go and your darkest stuff comes up, but you get to feel it in a way that helps you let it go, where you're not feeling unsafe. Now, this is where my trauma work comes in. The whole intention of trauma work for me is to get people feel safe in their body.
Absolutely. All about safety.
All about that. Now, what you're doing is one of the many amazing ways that I think is really, like what you said, 12 months from now, you see the world being this amazing place. And there is a lot of darkness in the world right now. There is a lot coming to the surface. And I think it's because a lot of us men are stepping up and doing the things we're doing in our genius zone. If you've got a message to the men listening to this and to the women who are listening, I've got to be honest, men actually listening out there, I see all the demographics that tune into this. The women are kicking your ass. Now, it's awesome, but men, fucking men. There's so much gold in what is being shared by all these amazing men on here. If you were to speak directly to the men listening into this, if they're down and out, if they think the world is caving in on them, or if they just want to improve their life, or maybe they haven't got the things, the love they want, or the energy they want, or whatever, what would your message to them be right now?
It's okay. It's okay to feel. It's okay to be in pain. It's okay to want support. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay for you to reach out and send a message and say, I'm in pain. Men's ego is so fucking big. Like, I can't ask for help. Fuck that bullshit. Ask for help. Like, I went through so much fucking pain, and if I didn't ask for help, I wouldn't have got it, and I probably, God knows what would have fucking happened. But just the new masculine, the new divine masculine, what we was talking about at the beginning, it's not about that fucking ego bullshit anymore. Drop the fucking ego. It's about coming into yourself and empowering yourself. Use the breath. Use meditation every day. Journal. Like, there is nothing wrong with journaling. You're a man. Get your journal. Fucking.
I'll show you this. I had a journaling block for a while. So, man, I went out to a kid's store and bought a dinosaur book.
Hold on a minute. This is my new mascot. Because when people do holotropic breath work, their hands they can cramp. It's called tetany.
Yeah, so like a T-Rex.
Like a T-Rex. So I bought this as the new mascot, and you've just got that on your book.
Awesome. There you go. There's a
Is
confirmation.
It the same colour? No, it's the same. It's him. Love that.
See, there can be fun in this work, even though I've got to be honest. I've written some fucked up shit in here in my empty outs, but it's got to come out.
Honestly, journaling was one of the best things for me, because it's action, energy release. When you're putting it on paper, you're clearing your mind, and there's nothing wrong with journaling. Like, get a book, write down exactly how you feel, and write down exactly what you want to feel. Start commanding into your subconscious mind what you want. I command happy, loving thoughts. I command strength, courage to get me through this. I command whatever it is that you want. Command it, and your subconscious mind has to go to work.
It has to. Yeah, as soon as something is, you've given attention to something, or there is a thought created, it's going to go look for that thing. That's its job. That's where the cognitive mind comes in. It's like it hunts it down. Okay, if you keep putting your focus into all the bad shit that's happening in your life and in the world, it's going to keep finding that shit for you. But if you're commanding, I love that language. That is so fucking assertive.
Yes,
I'm all about being the king. That's my language, the king of your kingdom. And what does a king do? They command. They command respect. They don't command respect by being a tyrant. They can command respect by being that fucking epitome of a king, compassionate, loving. I command this in my life. You put focus and attention to that. That's what the journal, it's so simple, but it is so powerful. That's why I've got a bunch of shit written around in my office on my walls.
Exactly.
Why have I got a dude here with a sword and a knife with my motto? Because it's reminders. My mind's always focused on this stuff. And that's what manifests.
Yeah. Command. I am commanding the life that I desire. I am commanding abundance. I'm commanding love. I'm commanding happiness. You keep commanding it and commanding it and commanding it. And command from source. Divine creator, I command and request.
Yeah.
Healing, I command and request abundance. I command and request to change the situation. Source will go to work for you and through you.
And come back to it. You got to honor the call when you get the message, and you get the whatever you believe out there, guys. Whether it's just you listen to yourself and your heart, whatever it is, whether it's God, whether you're religious or not, it doesn't matter. Whenever you get that message, this is where the work comes in. You got to fucking honor it. You got to honor it. If you don't honor it, you're going to get another opportunity to get another message, or you're going to get another challenge. Like Joby's mentioned a bunch, and he didn't take you too deep into this. Man has been through a lot, listeners, a lot. We will probably need 15 podcasts to just unravel, but we don't need to, because what he has done with that is honored the calls and messages, and he's acted on that. As extreme as some of them have been, I know in my life, some of the things, oh, you're going to be doing this. Fuck off, I'm not doing that. I don't do that now. Why would I go act on it? Oh, wow, okay. I can see why now I acted on that little message or that little sign or that intuitive nudge, because, wow, look at this has come into my life. Didn't come in the package. I asked for it, but fuck, this is better.
And remember, we signed up for everything that we go through. It's our soul's lessons.
It's the ultimate radical responsibility when you can be that radically responsible and say, I actually signed up for this on planet Earth right now. That little soul, when you can do that, everything in this reality is your responsibility. The shit and the good. Everything coming to you is your responsibility. Because, like I say, I love the language. You command it. I'm going to use that more.
Yeah, commands are so powerful. Like, when you ask or you are, please, when I do this, it's like, weak. Fuck that.
Scarcity. Yeah.
It's getting, I command to be absolutely healed on all levels. I command all negative bullshit from my life to be dissolved, transmuted, cleared, deleted across all space, dimension, time, and reality.
There's a little tip for you. Replay that in your heads, men, to the end, that little clip. Might put that in the little promo. That was good. But it's true. And I think the thing where a lot of people get caught out is we've got to continue to do this, guys. It's not just say it once and all it magically appears like in a movie and all of a sudden my yes has changed the world. Stuff, but it's constantly tuning in, because there are so many distractions out in the world, guys. We do face challenges. There are low vibe situations, people, happenings, whatever you want to put it on it, that will distract us from our path. If we don't keep checking in, if we don't keep commanding, we've got to be disciplined with this. And I promise you, it'll get to a point in time where that becomes your natural way of being. Again,
make it a daily practice.
Daily practice, and this comes with work. Some of my clients, when I start with them, it's interesting. Some of the things that I get them to do, because all of them need to kick up the ass in some matter or form. Even if they're successful now, they want to get better. One of the things I implement straight away is daily check-ins to what they're doing in the morning and at nighttime. That's just something little. And they look at me stupid. They do. Nothing personal to my clients out there, but you do sometimes. But I know why. And I tell them when I started doing these questions, glad I've got amazing clients.
I love it. But I love that.
When I tell them that when I first did these questions that I'm sending to you, I missed 2 nights in 10 months. They're like, I can hear them internally going, that's a bit extreme. But hey, after 10 months, missing 2 days, I didn't need to write things down. I was walking around in the daytime and these specific things were just versed in my head. The intentions I was setting, I was getting up in the morning and setting intentions because I constantly checked in and I did these things with repetition. Scares a lot of people out there, the word discipline, but doing these things. But what I love about it, when you see results in your life or you feel results in your life from doing this and being persistent and being patient, This will become your new way of being. And you will turn into the one that's telling someone else in your world to go, hey, this is what I did every day for 12 months to manifest that relationship. This is what I did every day for 12 months to feel amazing and be so high vibe, or to be living my mission and purpose. And then they'll be looking at you stupid going, oh, shit, sounds a bit extreme, but I want some of that. I've been going on tangents, man. I'm conscious of the time, brother. You have given us so much on this podcast. So much. I'm going to have you back for more times again.
Please, sure. Yes, please. I'll come back anytime.
It's been fascinating too, because I thought we might talk about some of the world stuff, but you can see how in our reality.
I need to.
You don't need to. We might know what's going on, but this is how we change the world, people. Doesn't mean we're avoiding all that stuff out there. And I can guarantee you, me and Joby can take it down some fucking rabbit holes. But we're more than aware, but this is how we change the world.
Exactly. Be the eye of the storm.
Where can they find you, aside from the Breathe to Heal app? Where can people find you?
So social media, Breathe to Heal, or B2H Breathwork. And just come join us. We've got Facebook groups, got Telegram groups, we've got courses running. Like, it's just... Come join the app.
I'll drop all the links and everything down below, guys, whether you're checking this on the podcast platforms or you're on YouTube. And breathe. Legend. Thank you so much, brother. It has been worth the wait to get you on. Again, massive value. And for all the listeners and watchers out there, please go back, listen to this again and again. We have been talking fast. We've covered a lot of ground, but I'm sure, just like watching a movie for the second and third time, you're going to pick up on things, bits of gold and gold nuggets that you missed on the way through. And absolutely reach out to Joby and the crew. Any questions you've got, to put them down below. Put some comments. If you're liking what we're bringing here, if you're liking the whole premise of the Wild Man Revolution and how we're rolling, and especially the guests we're having on, and if you're loving what I'm doing, please let me know, because I want to bring as much of this to you as I can. And if there's someone out there in the world that you think needs to hear any of this, whether it's from Joby, whether it's from a recent one from Andrew or other men that I've had on here, if they need to hear this, get it in front of them, guys. Get them listening to it. They can do it on the sly. Trust me, I know, man. We'll do shit on the sly if we don't want to be found out for a bit, but give them the nudge to the Wild Man Revolution podcast. This is only going to get bigger, and I really want you guys to help me get this message and this mission to the world. Much love to everyone. Thank you again, Joby.
My brother, thank you for having me. Lots of love and respect always. Oh, my brother. Oh.
This has been another edition of the Wild Man Revolution podcast. We have respect. Does not mean we agree. I think we agreed tonight, brother.
Always,
see you later.
Always. See you soon. Thank you for having me.